He was the man who added sound to animation. He was the man who put real people into animation. He was the first man to create a full-length animated movie. He was Walt Disney. Walter Elias Disney was born on December 5, 1901, in Chicago, Illinois. When he was 4 years old, the Disney family moved to a farm in Marceline, Missouri. For Disney's earliest years, he loved to entertain people and bring characters to life. He loved entertainment as an escape from his daily life. A childhood raised in a poor family where work and not play was his everyday. Disney loved to draw from a very early age. He often told people he was an artist. He sold some of his earliest drawings to his neighbor, Doc Sherwood. He loved drawing so much that one time he painted pictures on his home with black tar. In 1910, the Disney family moved to Kansas City, Missouri. While Disney was in school, he would draw. Sometimes he drew characters on the board. He also spent some time drawing pictures in the corners of pages in some of his books and noticed that when he turned the pages, the pictures moved. These were some of his first animated cartoons. At age 16, Disney tried to be part of the military but got rejected because he was underage. Instead, he decided to join the Red Cross. He was sent over to France and spent a year driving an ambulance for the Red Cross in World War I. After Disney returned from France, he got a job at the Posman Rubin Commercial Art Studio where he got paid $50 a month. At this studio, he met Ub Iwerks. In January 1920, Iwerks and Disney began to work at the Kansas City Slide Company and created cartoons called Laugh-O-Grams. Laugh-O-Grams were short, silent, animated cartoons in an industry where moving pictures were just the beginning to become part of an American entertainment culture. Disney needed to hire other employees to help him. He wasn't able to pay them a regular salary. Instead, he said he would pay his workers any money he made from the cartoons. One of Disney's major projects at this company was called Alice's Wonderland. This film was a first of a huge leap in the field of movie entertainment Disney was able to create. It had a real live girl go into the animated world of cartoons. This had never been done before in animation, and it fascinated its audience. Disney sent a letter to M.J. Winkler, a movie investor, about how through Alice they found something new in animation. Ultimately, though, Disney's company ran out of money and went bankrupt. Although this business failed, Disney did not give up his dream of being a great animator. He packed his bags with the Alice comedies and went on a first-class train to Hollywood to start a new business as a director. His brother Roy Disney was already in Hollywood. Disney still had big dreams. An opportunity for Disney came when Margaret Winkler, who worked for Charles Mintz at Universal Pictures, contacted him and offered to pay him for several Alice's Wonderland cartoons. Brothers Walt and Roy Disney started the Disney Brothers Studio. On July 13, 1925, Walt Disney married Lillian. Back at the studio, they began to make short animated movies. This business was successful. Walt Disney contacted Ub Iwerks to come to California to work with him in the studio. Together, Disney and Iwerks worked together to make a new series of animated cartoons called Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. The Oswald cartoons were a hit. Walt Disney kept producing them. Disney went on a train to Universal's headquarters and hoping to make another contract with Mintz for Oswald. When he got there, he found out that Mintz had stolen the rights to Oswald. He also took all of his animators. They all worked for Mintz now. Walt Disney went back on the train and created Mortimer Mouse. He took the drawings of Mortimer to the Walt Disney Studio and showed it to Ub Iwerks. Disney's wife, Lillian Disney, thought that Mortimer was a depressing name. so she just suggested that they change the name to Mickey. Disney thought it was a good idea, so he changed the name, and Mickey Mouse was born. The animation of Mickey Mouse was a tremendous breakthrough for Disney. The first film and the second breakthrough for Walt Disney in animation was Mickey Mouse and Steamboat Willie. It was the first animated short that includes sound. This had never been done before. Audiences were amazed at the sight of mice and other characters coming to life and talking, and the soundtrack that Disney added stunned audiences. The cartoon was a hit. In 1933, Disney made the decision to create a full-length animated film. This was the third major step Disney led to revised filmmaking, as this was significantly different than any other animated movie in history. Cartoons had always been short and funny. Walt's new creative idea was to animate a long story. Disney selected Snow White as the story he wanted to animate with many special features. Many people doubted that audiences would want to see a full-length animated cartoon, and some called his idea Disney's folly, but Disney believed it could be a success. After 5 years of hard work and over 250,000 drawings, Snow White was complete. At the end of the movie premiere, as Disney saw the audience openly sobbing at the sight of death of Snow White, he realized that animation could touch people's minds and bring them to a place they've never been, to believe that this world existed, at least in their hearts. It was tremendously successful. Disney had once again enhanced animation and delighted audiences with his efforts. Movie making and animation was changed forever. Disney continued to create more animated films, including Pinocchio, Fantasia, and Dumbo. None of these were as successful as Snow White, but they all continued to push animation creatively. Many years later, in 1964, Disney included live action and animation in the movie Mary Poppins, a movie that brought all the elements he created in Alice, Steamboat Willie, and Snow White into one glorious story. This movie was very successful and won 5 Academy Awards. Walt Disney died on December 15, 1966. He left behind a legacy of continuing to make dreams a reality through animation and making new things that change the world. Now today, people took his ideas of making animated films and made it even more lifelike with 3D animation, and making it more real than ever before.